Hey guys, welcome back to Auto Repair guys. In today's video guys, we'll be working here on the Ford Fiesta and we're going to show you guys how to remove and replace injectors. This one is the 1.6 Turbo ST version. So it's direct fuel injection. We'll show you how to remove them. It's a little bit of complicated procedure and a few safety measures that you have to do to avoid setting your car on fire and getting gas on you. So please subscribe guys, more than 200 videos will be made on this vehicle and so far we probably uploaded about 120. Also check out our new channel, Electrical Car Repair Live. It will be in the description of the video so you can see more electrical components, and we are adding new beamer here to the channel that we'll be building very soon. So please check it out. We're going to open the hood now, and the first thing that we're going to do, we're going to open the fuse box, and this one will minimize the risk for spilling fuel. Some people do not do that. I prefer to be a little bit safe. So fuse number 11 guys. You can see on the back side number 11 right here. It should be this fuse, I believe. Yep, it's for the fuel system. So we're going to grab it, pull it out. What we're going to do now, we'll go ahead and start the car, and by starting the car we're going to use all the gas that's in the fuel system already. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll start it until the car actually dies. You see that way you don't have any pressure in the fuel system, just like you ran out of gas. You can see it's still running. It started missing a little bit now, so it's going to die any minute now. Wow, that's crazy how long it can go on gas just that's in the fuel now, and it died. So perfect, we're out of gas now, so we can proceed with the next step. First thing that we'll need to do, we'll need to go ahead and disconnect the car battery. So we don't have any power. You disconnect the negative first, and after that the positive. Make sure that they do not touch, otherwise you might even have to remove the whole battery. You can always put like a towel or something under the post so it doesn't contact with the battery terminal. You can see like this one here. You need to do the same thing for the negative as well. What we're going to do after that, that cover guys is super easy to remove. You just pull it up. It has four bushings that go in here, one here, over there. You can see one on the front here and one towards the back over there. So that's out of the way. Next we're going to remove this hose right here. So on this side you squeeze on both sides, and you pull it out. Just careful not to break it, it's a plastic hose. We're going to remove that that clamp right there, and just pull this one out of the way. I'll just flip it right here so it's not in the way. Next we're going to get a screwdriver and we're going to loosen that clamp for the intake hose. Now this one right here guys, let me show you how you do that. You have to do both of them. This one, let me grab it with two hands now. You can see one is sticking out. You have to lift it up, but you have to lift up the other one too. And then you pull it up. Let me grab it good because like that, and you can pull it out. Just like that. Have to be careful not to break things. And next we're going to get a 10 millimeter socket right here on the screwdriver, and we're going to get that nut loose there for the intake hose and see if we will actually have to remove the whole intake hose or we can just push it towards the back. That will be really good if we can actually do that, save us a little bit of time. So we'll pull it out of the box, like that. Next we need to get a 12 millimeter wrench, and we need to loosen that plastic, I don't know what you call that thing, a bushing that holds the engine cover in place on the back side. It goes out of there. So now we'll see if we can actually push the hose out of the loop right here. We have a bushing and it's pretty tight. and I don't think it will come out without breaking anything. Right here there is one clamp. Okay, I'm trying to focus a little bit so you can see. It's a little bit, okay, that greasy clamp right there. So we're going to get this one loose and pull the hose up. Okay, you can see the clamp is down there. Okay, right in front of that label. So we got it loose a little bit. We'll see if that will actually fix it now, and you will let it go up. It looks like it might need just a little bit more, or it might come out, because you can see the bushing. It almost came up. Okay, you need to just make sure that the clamp is loose all the way, and then you just grab it and pull it out. Okay, you can see, just like that. Okay, you can see, okay, where it got loose there. Okay, I'm trying to get some light. Such a limited room on that small engine. And we're going to put a towel so nothing goes in the intake hose. That way if we drop a tool it will not go inside, otherwise we'll have to remove it and pull it out. Next we need to disconnect all the ignition coils here. So we need to pull the gray piece towards the back on all four of them. You press down and pull the cables out. Okay, now this is the fuel pressure sensor right here for the fuel rail. We're disconnecting this one as well. And now we have, we're going to get the clip removal tool. Okay, and we're going to disconnect a few clips here. Okay, one right there. We just pull them up. Have to go a little bit sometimes in an angle left and right, okay, to make sure that they come out. We're going to disconnect the cable here, and we'll pull this clip as well up, and okay, do this one here. Still holding a little bit, so it needs to go down, but we can do that later too. Okay, you can see it came loose. Okay, and just a few more clips here. You have to be careful not to break them, because later your cables will be loose. Okay, perfect. After that, we'll start removing the ignition coils one by one. Okay, it's important not to lose the bolts or drop them in the intake or anything like that. So we'll just collect them and start pulling the ignition coils out. Okay, just two more now, and the last one. Okay, perfect. So now we are going to remove, okay, this bolt with a 10mm. Still a little bit tight. Usually once you get them loose they go by hand, but this time decided to give us a hard time. Okay, almost out. Still moving there, but we will leave it. I think this one will not be holding anymore. Now, right here with 8mm socket, we will be removing a few more bolts. We will not be able to reach on this side, so we will need to get a ratchet. This one is actually a 7 that I have here. Let me just grab it quick, and we will need to remove this one towards the back. It's a little bit less convenient there. Again, it's important not to drop the bolts, and those bolts you cannot pull them out, so that's a good thing. This is for a good reason now. And you just think that you removed all of them, but there is one that's hidden, and it is this one right here. It's with 10mm deep socket because it's a nut. So we'll go ahead and remove it now. and it should come up after that, hopefully. It's a pretty complicated little engine. Okay, the nut is coming out. You can see just a regular 10mm nut. Okay, let's see if we can lift it up now, or if something is still holding. That's unbelievable. It looks like we still have something holding here. And a few more, guys. That's why it's a good idea to watch before you start doing that. You need to lift that seal up, and there is 2 more. Okay, with those will be just with 8mm. Okay, 8mm socket, or smaller than that actually. Let's see if it's a 7. Yep, this is a 7. And that's where the fuel line is as well, towards the back side. You can actually see the oxygen sensors from here now. Okay, we still have a few, just need to be loosened a little bit more. And now we can go ahead and pick it up. Right here we have one more clip that we'll need to disconnect. Okay, you can see on the side. Okay, this clip right here. So how you do that, this one, you can just pull it out. You can see right here. And this is the cover on top. Now we got to the more important part. So what we're going to do now, guys, okay, we'll start actually disconnecting the fuel injectors now. Okay, we'll need to get the cables loose. Remember, they go under that pipe there, so when we put it together we need to remember that. Now remember how we ran the car, so we don't have okay, you can see this is the wiring harness. We don't have fuel pressure hopefully in the system, but you have to be really careful. Use eyeglasses, eye protection, gloves. Okay, we'll remove those nuts to get the pipe loose. Okay, no fuel, a little bit for us, but not too much. Okay, so always be careful, no smoking or anything like that. Next procedure, okay, will be a 10mm socket. We have 4 bolts to remove. It's important not to get anything, any dust or anything in the fuel rail, or you will pour your injectors. You can see how long the bolts are now. Now the injectors come out, okay, in a little bit weird way. We'll hold the injectors down and we'll start pulling the fuel rail up. Okay, just need to not twist, because if you do, you might break your injectors. Okay, we just leaked some fuel out. Okay, and this is the fuel rail out of there. So now you can see those are the injectors, okay, right here, all 4 injectors, but I'm not going to remove it. How you remove it? You just pull it out, wiggle it out a little bit, pull it straight out. Not very complicated procedure, but if I remove it, I have to install new seal on the bottom, new Teflon seal or whatever they call that thing, and I don't want to do that because I don't want to waste my money, guys, to be honest with you. But if you get a new injector, you just push it all the way in, make sure that it's all the way in before you install the fuel rail, otherwise you might have a compression leak there. So that will be, guys, the whole procedure. I just wanted to show you how to get to here. Everything else is in reverse order. Thank you for watching, see you guys next time.